Welcome back to another video of the series. In the last video we explored how the Save Game API worked in its basics. Now we are going to go a little bit deeper and write our own encoder and decoder for the game state. Because right now we have to encode and decode it as a string, but we could also encode and decode it as an game state. So yeah, we are going to do that now. So first of all, we are going to create a game state codec, which is going to extend codec game state, and then we have to set it have the constructor which is going to take in the encoding key. And then we have to implement the abstract like this, the abstract methods, which will be checking whether it can encode an object, in which case we can just say args0 instance of game state, and we have done it. To encode it, we are going to explore how it can be done, and decode we are also going to explore it later. First of all, we have to register our codec somehow. Well, we are going to go in our example project again. First of all, we are going to create our registry key for the codec, which is game state. Codec key, which is this. And we are going to use again this for the namespace, because, well, this is the extension we are currently using, and game state as the key of the codec. And then if we must register our codec, so we are going to go into registry, codecs, and then register. We are going to go with the namespace key, create a new codec, or a new instance of our codec, game state codec. We're going to pass its registry key. It's important that the encoding key here is the same as this encoding key, otherwise this method call will fail. And then we are going to say which classes it can decode or encode, better said, which will be gamestate.class. Then it complains that something doesn't work, because nice. I never really understand why sometimes things work and why sometimes they do not. Well, this will be resolved too in the future. Right now, well, yeah. And then we are going to encode it as a string actually. So args0 get bytes, standard char sets. We are going to use UTF-8 as an encoding. And the cool thing is that it's pretty easy, like this, to encode it. So args0 F8 again. Here it's a little bit trickier because we have to read all bytes pretty much because, well, we do not know the true length of this string. So read all bytes and pretty much be done there. And well, we have the string here, but we need to return a game state. So we are going to say new game state string. And I think actually I can delete the warnings. Well, if we are lucky, it's just Eclipse being naughty. But I fear that it's, oh well, we are lucky. That is why you have two compilers. Well, we can just check it out again. And as we see, it's this. We save it. Actually, there isn't a difference because we haven't changed much more, but we know that it works, so that's a good thing. But instead of putting a string, we are actually going to put the game state itself there. Now the interesting thing is that by registering to Codec, it's pretty much the only thing we have to do. We don't have to say, hey, use this codec. It will just automatically use the codec based on this, on what you say, which classes it can decode. But even if you just say object.class, it will still try to check whether it can encode an object based on this. And the decoding process is rather easy. And in this case, we don't have to create a new game state. And in this case, we have to get it. Tool. And this is a bit the issue if I have said in the last video. We have to cast it again. Thankfully, we do not have to suppress warnings, but it is a possibility. And now we can actually compile it. I hope, at least. Target, example project, move it to the extension folder, then can we continue it. We have this string here. We save it under save slot 4. Still have the string. We create a new galaxy. Have another string. We load save slot 4. And we have our old string again. Now, if we use load an incompatible save, such as save slot 0, nothing will happen, but there will be an exception because, well, it's a string there and not a game state. But this is just an example of how things can work. And see you.